I deeply regret that I'm not personally able to attend the commemorative events for the 5-year anniversary of the tsunami and earthquake which devastated Japan. My best wishes to all who are in attendance. I will always remember those dreadful days as the news first started to come through about just how many people had lost their lives through the earthquake and particularly the tsunami. And then Japan, reeling from those losses, had to deal with the Fukushima nuclear disaster. Here in Australia, we wanted to help, and we did deploy a search and rescue team, some of our military aircraft and military planners, and Australians in very large numbers personally gave to support the people of Japan. Even being here and being constantly briefed, I wasn't able to appreciate the true scale of the devastation until I travelled to Japan myself. I was the first foreign leader to make a substantive visit after the earthquake and tsunami. I went to Tokyo and felt one of the aftershocks and had just the smallest of insights into what it must have been like to feel the earth roll. I met with then Prime Minister Khan and talked to him about how we could work together as Japan recovered. But the biggest impact on me came when I travelled to Minami Sanraku and got to stand in the place where so many people lost their lives, to see buildings destroyed in such huge numbers, to see a boat that had landed on top of one of the few surviving 4-storey buildings, to hear from local people their stories of dramatic survival, what they had had to do to try and live through this devastating event. And then to go from that scene of catastrophe to a local evacuation centre and to meet with survivors who were still mourning their dead whilst wondering what would happen to them in the future. In those moments, I saw a lot of tears and a lot of grief, but also a lot of stoicism and a lot of courage for the future. And 5 years on, we are now able to see the benefits of that stoicism and courage. The Japanese people have faced these horrific circumstances and been determined to rebuild. And rebuilding has occurred. So many people have been housed, have found new lives, so much new infrastructure has been built. Japan is recovering from what has been described as the most costly natural disaster in human history. 5 years on, there are still tears to cry and there are still dead ones to mourn, some losses that will never be made up. But there is also a lot to celebrate in the rebuilding that has been done. I'm sure as people come together on this very solemn commemorative occasion, those thoughts and that sadness about the past will be there, but so will a sense of pride about what has been achieved so far, and I hope a spirit of optimism about the future. Once again, I'm sorry I can't be with you personally, but I did want to share these thoughts and reflections.